right, so check this one out. We basically got the chord progression. You know, straight out of 1987, like some sort of, you know, flash dance movie. Some of you might be watching it and be like, dude, that's like 30 years before I was born. And it probably was. But those of you who are in my age group, you know what I mean. Flashdance, Footloose. Just picture some emotional scene. Could have been Lethal Weapon, you know, whatever. Some emotional scene in a movie. And we want to be melodic. Now, the interesting thing about this is the song really is in major in the beginning. But when we switch to this chord progression, it takes on more of a minor feel. Now, we could say that it's F sharp minor, right? But it's in the same, you know, we're playing the same notes. So let's just, you know, pretend for the sake of things that it's all still the same. You know, it's the same scale spots. So we'll refer to them as scale spots. All right, so check this out. The first, we're going to be down here in the octave position. Okay, and the first two chords we can totally take care of by hitting one note. We're just going to bend up the 17th fret a whole step. We'll bend it up once, then we'll hit it when it's up there again. We'll do some sweet 80s vibrato coming down on that 17th fret at pitch. Now, when we go to the next, we can do a... So what we do there is we're going to go back from the E to the B on the 14th fret. And then what we're going to do to tag that A chord is we're going to take this note, another one of them special notes in our scale, and we're going to bend it up a half step. Okay, and we'll pull it off. So that 16th fret, half step, up, down, and then pull off to 14. Okay, so we got back into our position, our typical pentatonic position, where we're going to be at the 14th E, 17th B, 14th E, back to 17 B. And now what we're going to do is we're going to keep this finger rooted here, but with our second finger, we're going to bend up the G string 16th fret. Okay, and we're going to do a whole step up, but then we're going to reverse bend, but we're not going to come all the way down. So we got... Okay, so we got... Pull off. All right, and that'll finish out our riff. So let's check this out. Okay, now when we go, we want to tag that G 14th fret like we really mean it. Okay, and dig into that note, and because we want it to sustain, because it holds the note for a while until we get into the descending and ascending runs that come next, okay? And we'll shake it like we mean it. Now the next run, it's a pattern, and it's going to go from position 4 to position 3, and it maintains a pattern for the most part. Okay, and then after that, which I'll explain, we're going to go in an ascending pattern up from 3 to 4 and into position 5. So check this out. We'll talk about the descending run first because, you know, it happens first. We're going to start at the B string 12th fret, and that's our first part. Okay, now again, like we tag that last note, the start of each one of these patterns, we really want to hammer that freaking note, all right? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to pull off 12th fret to the 10th fret on the B, go up to G11, back to B12, G11, B10. done this a million times already, but we're going to continue this same pattern, but we're going to have to adjust because of the position shift. Now the intervals are different from these strings to these strings, so our pattern's going to change. But it's the same. Okay, now the notes will be on top of each other. So we're going to pull off G11 to G9. Go up to D11, G11, D11, G9. So we got. Okay, now we're going to shift from position 4 to 3. And that's how I'm going to have to get out, but I'm going to keep that pattern kind of similar. So we're going to slide. Okay, so we're going to hit 3 notes on one string. Slide down, pull off. Okay, so that's 11, 9, pull off to 7, all on the D string. Okay, and then we're going to pull off again, 9 to 7. Okay, so we got. All right. Now, this is where the pattern breaks. After we go, then we're going to pull off 9 to 7. Okay, so we're going to pull off 9 to 7 on the A. Go E9. Then we're going to hammer on 7 to 9 on the A. Jump down to D7. Okay, and we're going to tag that note on the D string 7th fret like we did up here. Okay, so we got. Okay, so you want to really emphasize that first note of the pattern. Okay, so let's hear what it sounds like up until that point. Okay, now that slide I just did is actually important. For 2 reasons. One is because if I started into my ascending run, my timing would be off. Okay, so that's both of the reasons, 1 and 2. 2 is kind of the same, but it's cool, right? It's some movement, it's exciting. You get to like pull that full Randy Rhoads slide down, like in the beginning of I Don't Know. Like, I don't know where I'm going. Oh, this is where I'm going. And then we go into our ascending run, which is the same positions, same frets we just did for the most part, but it's a different pattern. Right, so it's just basically straight down the scales. 3 notes out of the 3rd position, or 3 strings, I should say. So we're going to go 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9 on the E, A, and D, sliding up to 11 on the D string. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing that we did here on the G string, but we have to compensate for the scale position shift. So it's going to be 9, 11, and then we're going to slide up to 13, which gets us into the 5th position pentatonic, and we're going to bend a half step. Since we're not on the typical pentatonic position, which would be here, we're going to... Okay, so we got... Then we're going to shift down to the 4th position again, or you can look at it at the 5th position if you want. Okay, so that's the 11th fret. up to the 14th fret D. Then we're going to go 11 to 13 on the G. Back to the D14, and then before we start our next riff. So that whole progression. Okay, now the last part is kind of back to that major sound. Okay, so that is in position 4. Okay, so that actually targets the target notes of the chords, but it's going by quick, right? Because you can look at that. Okay, so we got, and then from there we have an A chord. Okay, all the notes that we did in this run are contained in that one run. So sometimes, or a lot of times in solos, you can do a cool run and still maintain those target notes, hitting those as the chords go by, but it's one fluid long riff. So that's another thing that we can think about. Don't be afraid to, insert some flash. All right, so the last part, I'm just gonna slide up from 9 to 11, let's say. So we got jump down to the B string, 10 to 12, hit it again. So we got, grab that E note, the 12th fret of the E string. Okay, and then we're going to release it and then go down to the 10th fret. Now I'm going to go. Okay, so that first one, we're going to hit the note, and then we're going to do a hammer on and pull off slide. So that's going to be 10, 12, 10, slide. Then I'm going to go 10, 9, slide down to 7. Then I'm going to go 9, pull off, slide to 5. Same pattern. 5, or 7 rather. 5, 3. And then we're going to end it like that. Pull off, 5, 3, G4. Okay, so we got. Now we're going to go 4 to 6 on the G string and tag that A note because we're back tone. That part of the song, right? Back to the verse. So, again, you can be really melodic, really concentrate on the vibrato, the feel, on some of those you can do upstrokes. Then you got the flash. Another flashy riff, but ascending. Break back into that major sound. And then that gets you right back into that major verse sound. So, if you notice at the tail end of the song, when we did that last little run down, it really started to take on from this first riff. Right? That's a total Southern rock riff, getting us back into that major sound. So that's one of the tricks that you can do and employ in your own playing when you want to take it from a minor sound back to a major. Introduce some Southern rock, some Skinner. Just don't be afraid. It's awesome, and that's why that music is still valid today, because it's good. And then take a simple little you know, descending run on one string, right? We don't even have to make it complicated. Hit those two notes together because you can, because it sounds good. All right, so let's try it one more time. Let's check it out. Now check it out. I could modify that last riff and do a little bit something different, make it a little bit more complicated if I want. Keep the same idea, but keep more of that. I can add some more hammer-ons in, so let's try that run. So it's up to you. I mean, you can do that same kind of pattern. Make it, you know, a little bit more complex. It doesn't matter. That's one of those cool patterns to practice, just getting through the different positions. And there's just different ways of doing it. You can take the simple approach or a little bit more complex. It's up to you.